episode of Sip Up Days with Who's Who, the ultimate interview series where we explore the captivating minds of extraordinary individuals who are making waves in their respective fields. As an initiative of Ashoka World School Media Club, we have designed and curated an interview series to enhance the realm of creativity. Through this platform, we can explore media and technology, which has tremendous opportunities in today's era. Today, we have the privilege of welcoming an individual who holds an esteemed position in the state of Kerala, a man with great vision and exceptional leadership qualities. His Excellency, Shri Arif Mohammad Khan, the Governor of Kerala. Let's begin with the video.
Thank you for having us here, sir.
It's my pleasure. It is always so refreshing to meet young people.
We are actually from the Ashoka World School's Media Club. We are actually very proud and excited for this opportunity.
I'm so happy to know that you have this media club because education is not merely study of the text. The institution where you are receiving education must also provide forums where you can improve your communication skills, where opportunities are given for self-improvement. And self-improvement is the beginning of any kind of improvement. So I'm very happy that Media Club is there. Media Club means that you must be engaged in activities, speaking, writing, developing all your drama, theatre, song, music, all this comes under that. So that makes you more sensitive.
I'm looking forward to our interaction today.
So, without further ado, thank you again, sir, for having us here. And let's get started with our interaction.
Okay.
Your Excellency, we would like to know about your journey as governor. Can you tell us what inspired you to step into public service?
Then that it started much before I became governor. You know, look at it. I mean, it is not just me, all of us, all human beings. We are not the only living beings. There are so many other living beings. Have you noticed?
Yes, sir.
Animals, they have life. Birds, they have life. Even plants have life. But what is the difference between human beings and other beings? Nature has blessed us. That is, human beings. I'm not using the technical term, but human beings. We are the only beings with the power of imagination. All other beings, they live for the moment. They do not plan for future. They have no awareness of the past. But the whole human civilization tells us, since time immemorial, man has been engaged in raising this question, asking himself or herself, why I am born, why I am here, and what after this life. And India, this has been the general trend, but in India particularly, in ancient times, there are two aspects you will always feel concerned with. What is inside you and what is outside you. Outside you is what we call, you need to study whatever is outside you. Because you are also engaged all the time in fighting for survival, which means try to know the elements which have a baneful impact on your existence. You can't live under the sun all the time. If you live in a place where there is too much cold, you can't stand outside. So what do? You find shelter. You protect yourself from the elements. That is what is called study of science. And there is but you have control over everything, you have secured your life. Even then you cannot be fully satisfied unless you know what is inside you. That knowing yourself, in that process, you feel that this has been the human experience. Then you realize that you are not born only to live for yourself. The process of civilization started when they started taking care of each other. What is civilized behavior? Civilized behavior is when for your own convenience, you do not cause inconvenience to others. There is so much you will see in your daily life, you can see. There is so much pain, so much affliction, so many problems. So, in this scenario, if you are able to find something which appeals to your heart, and you are able to devote some of your energies and time to serve that cause, then you are a very lucky person. So the abiding feelings of joy come only from actions which spring from compassion. You do something for yourself, you will feel happy. But that happiness will not last long. If you, in the neighborhood, if there is somebody, even an animal, and you feed that animal or you take care of some human being, you do something good to him, and he blesses you. The happiness which you feel then is much greater than any other happiness. Our former president, who was a teacher like your teacher, Dr. Radhakrishnan, he said that if you want to live a civilized life, then it is absolutely essential that you develop the quality of compassion, empathy. And we human beings, the way we are, our nature, females, that is, the girls who are sitting here, ladies who are sitting here, he says that compassion comes to them naturally. You must have seen the difference between your mother and your father. You do something mischievous, then you hide it from your father, but you don't hide it from the mother, because mother is very compassionate. Is that right? That is right? So, Dr. Radhakrishnan says that boys particularly, men, said that to women it comes naturally. But men must make conscious efforts to develop this quality. Animals don't have it. Even animals, sometimes you will notice they care for each other. But they don't have that power of imagination. So that will be very, very limited, even if they have it. But the point I am making is that there are so many things which you will see in the process of growing up, which will make you, or which will have great persuasive power for you to decide that after I finish my education, then I'm going to devote wholesale to this activity. When I was child, I was your age, although I belong to a family which could afford to send me for education to Delhi at the age of 5. But in my own village, more than half the children were half killed. There was no school in my village. That is for my family, because my grandmother was so, normally grandmothers are very loving and very attached. She would not have allowed my father to send me to the school. The fact that there was no school in our village, that helped him to convince the mother that let him go to the school, otherwise she was not allowed. So today, now the situation is changing. But even now, there are things which move you deeply. So there were things which moved me also deeply. So I have seen many things. It will become too long if I tell you that what motivated. There were so many things which motivated me. And then I had the good opportunity, very good teachers, who, right from the beginning, where I had ample opportunities to improve my communication skills. My warden will always ask me to speak. Every month we used to have a small function in the hostel. Small children, say between the age of 5 or to 7, 8 years old, then move on to the senior hostel, then further senior hostel. And she will ask me, children were given, somebody will sing a song, somebody will present a skit or something. I was always asked by her to speak there. And she will help me prepare my speech. So I was very fortunate that to have received that kind of guidance from our very, very, very loving and affectionate teachers. You are also lucky. You have this institution where you have this media club. Then it is not important that politics is not important. These are all different branches through which you can, whatever cause is dear to your heart. Suppose somebody is working for an NGO which is devoted or which looks after the physically challenged persons or visually challenged persons or something like that. Equally important. Don't think governor, because I became minister or member of parliament or assembly and then came here, that is important. No. The work is important. Whatever work you are doing.
Next question. I am Datan from grade 4. All have a favorite subject in school. So my question is, what was your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject in school, it was Sanskrit. Yes. I loved that language. And rather, I should say Sanskrit. And then I became interested in the study of other languages also. Even after I had read Arabic also, but when I was your age. But I could only read it when I was at least 90, more than 40 years old. Then for 3 years, I went for a regular tuition to learn the language. I could read when I was your age. But when I was 40 plus, then I studied Arabic systematically. I also studied Persian. So languages have always, I'm fascinated by study of language.
I'm Devamithan from grade 4. Sir, I'm pretty sure you enjoy reading. So which is that one book that you would suggest to a kid like me to read?
I will recommend C. Rajagopalacharya was a leading figure of our freedom movement. He was born in Tamil Nadu, leading intellectual. not just a freedom fighter, but very erudite person. And he has written there are not many books, but few books, one or two books particularly for the children, which have stories suitable for the children from our ancient classics. If I remember correctly, the name of the book is Stories for the Innocents. And then at this age, later you will have to read many books when you become interested in reading and acquisition of knowledge. But at this stage, I would say that read the Ramayana, which is a very basic book by C.R. Rajagopalachari. Popularly, he was known as Rajaji, great scholar.
Okay.
So he was always concerned, and even every parent has this concern that I should read out stories to my children which can inspire them to become better persons in their lives. So he was not only concerned about his own children, he was concerned about the Indian children. Malayalam is rich in children's literature. So you can find many other books. This book is in English.
Let's have a question from our friends over there. Angelina?
Hi sir, I'm Angelina from day 11. I can only imagine how busy your schedule is. And in the midst of all of that, how do you like to unwind and relax?
Very easy for me. Reading makes me relax. And this is nothing new. Even before I really started understanding books, I had become interested in books. So as soon as I'm free from other things, I turn to books. Reading is one thing. Books are the best friend, always remember. You will never feel lonely. But through books, they are best friends, they are best companions, and also they have the capability to take you some other world. You are sitting here in Trivandrum, but if you are reading a book about some other place, at least for that period of time when you are reading the book, you start feeling that experience. As if you are not here, you are there. Famous English writer Samuel Johnson has said, if you don't feel like reading a book second time, then in the first instance, the book was not worth reading. Note down the page number and something to indicate what you found interesting on a particular page, which moved you. And read those portions of the book not only second time, third time, fourth time, after some time. Knowledge is the daughter of repetition. Never forget. Rote learning is not recommended, but committing something to your memory is highly, in my opinion, highly recommendable.
Sir, I've been thinking about how our students can help our communities. Can you give us some suggestions on how we can engage more or maybe even take up leadership roles so we can contribute to our nation?
You are already, if you are becoming a capable person through the process of education which your institution is giving you, you are already contributing. But at this stage also you can play a role. And that stage is, for instance, in a state like Kerala, we are having this, I do not know how much conscious we are. Schools are being used by very undesirable elements for spreading the drug culture. The use of that substance, we all must try to realize how dangerous it is. If nothing else, we can at least try to create that awareness among our fellow beings that don't become victim of these nefarious activities. You can also, by your actions, the way you conduct your affairs, the way you live your life, that we become more aware of our cultural heritage. And our cultural heritage does not permit any distinction to be made between girls and boys, which we see in ordinary houses. They will give more facilities, boys will be looked after more, girls will be neglected. Even at this stage, we should refuse to accept, even if that is coming from our parents, we should refuse to accept it. No, we are all equal. That small things, those kind of things. And as Mahatma Gandhi has said, my life is my example. Speech is mere speeches do not change the world. Even in the Western thought, Plato has talked about philosopher king, not merely a thoughtful person, but who acts. Indian tradition, this thing is very strong. Right from, there are, this has been mentioned somewhere. It has been said, for instance, the most popular ancient book in India is Bhagavad Gita. And the Bhagavad Gita concludes with that where there is union of wisdom and action, that ensures success. Wisdom and action. Action alone cannot bring results, and wisdom alone cannot bring results. You can serve the society more effectively when you have given whatever you want to do, you have given enough thought to it, and then you have developed the capacity to walk the talk.
Sir, could you please share with us the aspects of your governorship that you find the most rewarding and fulfilling?
First you should understand, and in our constitution, what is the role envisaged for the governor? We are a democracy. The government, those who have to conduct the day-to-day affairs, they are elected by the people. People elect their representatives who are given this authority to run day-to-day affairs. Governor is appointed by the president. He is not elected. Governor is not elected by the people. He is appointed by the president. Why, when we have the elected government, why we need a governor? The constitution makers realized that India culturally is very united. Same ideas, values and ethos inspired the Indians all over the country, but our history has been, in political terms, India has been a fragmented society, totally divided. It was divided into the areas which were outside British India. There were 567 states. And then there were areas which came under the British. So our unity in terms of culture is very strong, but in political terms, is very new and fragile. The Constitution recognizes 26 languages as national languages. Diversity of culture, diversity of food, diversity of festivals, diversity of customs, rituals, everything. And Indian thought leaders, they never felt discomfited by this diversity. They were of the view that diversity itself can be used to strengthen unity, because ideals are same, values are same. So we need somebody in a supervisory role to keep an eye on what the elected, who does not allow. Our Constitution basically does not allow. So the role of the governor is that the elected governments, to ensure that the elected governments discharge their duties within the parameters of the Constitution and the law, and do not allow anything which promotes separatism or where the diversities are used to create differences. Diversity is one thing. It is important ingredient of Indian culture. But these diversities should not be allowed to be used for building walls of separation. I'm not responsible for running the day-to-day administration. That is for the elected government. But the job of the governor is to give counsel to the government, to encourage them, and if they are going somewhere departing from the, if not letter, but the spirit of the Constitution, then to warn them and bring back on the rail. That is the role of the government.
Sir, now can we have another question from our friends?
Sure.
Joshua?
Hi sir, I am Joshua from grade 11. Just a quick and light question. Do you have a favorite Kerala dish? If so, we'd love to hear about it.
Kanni. I love it.
I also like Kani.
I love it with chutney. It's simply superb.
Sir, do you like to travel?
Oh, I love it.
If you could go to anywhere for a vacation, where would it be?
Where I would like to go?
Yes.
To some place which is not very well known, not famous as a tourist spot, and where you can watch the nature. You have the time to read the books and watch the nature peacefully.
Okay.
And that is why it's not only me. All the people who come and who ask me, they come from outside and they ask me, which place we should visit in Kerala. I said the brochures are full of well-known places. My advice to you is, go to some place which is totally unknown, that is equally beautiful, and you spend time there. Go to some places which are not known and go anywhere in any direction. Kerala is equally beautiful everywhere.
So, sir, you are a person from Uttar Pradesh, but you are now a Malayali in the eyes of Kerala. So, from a non-Malayali's perspective, what do you love about Kerala?
Kerala, what impresses me most is, I have seen, even in Delhi, if somebody is in distress on the road, people see that person in distress and run away from there. In Kerala, the first person who sees the person in distress runs to help him. Even here, men are more compassionate than others. This is what really captivates me, fascinates me.
It's great to know that Kerala has such a positive impact on you, sir.
Yes, it has. It has. Kerala is, every place has some unique features. Kerala is more blessed. There is natural beauty, and more than that, I find among all the Indian states, Kerala is most rich in human resource. The only negative thing about Kerala is that Keralites don't want to stay in Kerala and they disappear from Kerala. But in a sense it is good. In a sense it is good. They carry that Kerala spirit with them. It broadens your horizon when you are working at a place away from the place of your birth. There is no problem. You feel so good. Less than 3% of the national population contributing 30% to the national remittances. You feel so good about it. I'm saying it lightly, but some brilliant people need to be in Kerala also. Everybody should not run away from here.
It is true.
So, I'm Sri Lakshmi of grade 12. I was just curious, do you have a favorite Kerala tradition or festival that you really like?
I think all the festivals, particularly Onam. Onam, of course, is the biggest festival, but even other festivals, people celebrate with great involvement. One thing I greatly admire about Kerala is that here, whether it is language, it is food, it is culture, or even festivals, the label of religion is not put there. Everything people celebrate jointly. For instance, Christmas. Not that non-Christians don't celebrate it, they celebrate it with equal gusto. Onam, everybody participates in Onam. On Eid, I have seen people from all backgrounds. And the best festival now comes to my mind, even greater than Onam, is Vidya Rambam. It is such a noble festival. People with their small children in their arms, standing in queue, and they want the child to be initiated into this process of learning. And all over the state, outside every place of worship, Vidya Rambam especially attracts.
Sir, do you listen to music?
I would say I love music, but here is the problem. Don't find time to enjoy music.
So, if you listen to music, what kind of music do you listen to?
I prefer Indian semi-classic music. Semi, not even classic. Classic music is great, but to appreciate it, you should have more knowledge of the subject.
So we have a quick game. We will give you two options, and between those you have to choose which one you prefer. So the first one is, do you prefer the playground or the library?
Of course, library. But
Makes sense.
don't think that playground is less important. I will go for library because that is more in tune with my aptitude. Playground is equally important, and we should try to create a balance between the two, which I feel sorry that I was not able to do that.
In school, did you prefer the first bench or the last bench?
I'm asked to make a choice, then I would prefer last bench because you are feel more undisturbed. But actually never sat on the last bench. I was made to sit in the front.
You prefer writing or reading?
I have been mostly a reader, but then some reader and speaker. Then some friends who are leading journalists in Delhi, they insisted that the points I make in these speeches, why I don't start reducing them into writing. I started writing. And these pieces they appeared in various newspapers. Then the same people told me that they are not meant for the journals or newspapers, they are subject matter of a book. So they were published in the form of a book, and the book became bestseller in about 10 weeks' time. And it has also been included as part of the syllabus in some universities in US. There is something called original writing. There, even those who have not read many books, but they come with brilliant ideas, they can write. But today, the general trend mostly is that those who write, before that they read many things and then they write. So, it's a great pleasure being with you.
Thank you so much for having us here, sir.
You are welcome. It is a real pleasure.